Oh, good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Thursday, my last day of work here. And Chris had to take a position yesterday for one of the guys that didn't come to work yesterday. So we didn't get about an hour up of videos. So that's going up, but I'd like to try to get this one up first. I'm going to dedicate most of this. I only have 20 minutes now. Dang. But I'm going to make this particular video on one particular case because this lady is really suffering, and you're going to find this an interesting case. She's been to a lot of MDs, naturopaths, osteopaths, been a lot of places, and hasn't found the help. And that's because we have a big lack of understanding how you regenerate the body. And so I'm going to read her case, and this is a case I need your help on. You guys will help me to help this lady fix herself. Her name's Kelly. And got some problems, Kelly. But you can fix them, sweetheart. I'm going to first address this dog thing about grapes. Plenty of dogs eat grapes, guys. And not that I care whether you make a dog a fruitarian, but they have a GI tract. Omnivores, this is why they call Homo sapiens omnivores, because in GI tract length, we're closer to the omnivore in our GI tract length. The average GI tract of a omnivore is 12 times the length of their spine, and ours is 10 times the length of their spine. Ours is 12, and a herbivore is 30. So it shows you the amount of fiber and the amount of digestive need, especially when you look at the teeth and the difference between an omnivore, a frugivore, and a herbivore's teeth. You'll see a big difference. But plenty of dogs eat fruit, man. I have a lot of friends and their dogs eat a lot of grapes and things. Can't imagine the dog rushed to the hospital for eating a grape. That's ridiculous. Maybe it created a healing crisis in them and they didn't know what to do. I don't know. Never heard of anything like that in my life. A lot of dogs eat grapes. So I don't know. You don't have to put your dog on grapes. I'm not telling you to, but a lot of dogs like a lot of things. Some dogs won't touch any fruit or vegetables. Okay, let's go over this case for Kelly, because this is a case, Kelly, where you are obviously hurting woman, and this is, and I'll read this off to you because it's neurally mediated hypotension, meaning it's a neurologically mediated low blood pressure. And I mean really low. When she stands, it keeps going down, down, down. She feels her blood isn't being pumped to the top, and so she pulls the blood in the legs, and the legs start turning purple. They also call it, let me see here, neurocardiogenic syncope, vasodepressor syncope, and vasovagal reflex. Same all kinds of things, autonomic dysfunction. Well, no kidding, hypotension. First of all, your adrenals are shot. Now, let me give you a clue to what's been going on with this person. And she really gives a good clue here to when this all started. But I have to tell you that you have to realize that when you wake up with something going on with you, it just didn't happen overnight. Now, there was a mediating factor here with her that really set this in motion, but she already had the precursor set up for this, I guarantee you. And, of course, you know, I've been talking a lot about the weaknesses that we're seeing in people. Particularly the younger people, extreme kidney weakness, extreme adrenal fatigue or failure, thyroids, pituitaries. I mean, we're seeing the decay of the endocrine gland system. We're seeing the decay of the lymphatic system, which is the body's main immune system. So we're seeing these things. To be honest with you, and not to be offensive to medical doctors, but this is way out of your guys' leagues. This is the problem. You have to step up a lot higher to understand how you fix these and what's going on with her. They've had her on every medication you can name here, all from Klonopin to oh my God, Topramax, Ativan, Xanax, Ambien, Neurontin. I mean, it goes on and on and on and on that they've had her. And then she says, my head has been injected with so much lidocaine that I cannot even count. You know, this is this kind of problem that we're having here in our healing system. The medical doctors cannot use the word health. It is not in their nomenclature. It has nothing to do with them. They are involved in the treatment of symptoms. Unfortunately, we have these toxic chemicals and a lack of understanding of these things. So I will say this about you, Kelly. You were definitely born with very weak adrenal glands to start, guaranteed. Now, you could have been raised around or consumed in some way neurotoxins through your life. And we've discussed neurotoxins, from pesticides to herbicides to perfumes to, we don't make beautiful things anymore out of nature. We radically alter all this chemistry. It's cheaper. We can just, use antifreeze products and makeups now and stuff. No big deal. So we just have an extreme lack of big deal with chemists. Chemists, I just can't stand. I'm a chemist and I can't stand chemists because they're locked into this idea that chemistry doesn't bother anything. They're like blinders on. And biochemists are just as bad. I mean, they're just, everybody's got this biochemist thinking, and every biochemist is almost different. The problem with this, yes, it's chemistry, but we cannot use the intellectual mind to look at this, and we can't use the effect to understand the cause. You can in terms of symptomology, but not in chemistry. There's too many cofactors involved here. So this is a case of big-time neurotoxicity. And I'm going to read you her case here. They want a pacemaker because she has this tachycardia and bradycardia, which is almost a Brady-Tachy syndrome here. Let me see here. Let me start with this. Start with this. She was born with some epilepsy anyway. All right, so here we go. We know, one, she's neurally compromised anyway. Two, she probably has a parathyroid, not meaning you and the third party, Kelly, but you have a parathyroid, my guess, issue where you're not utilizing calcium properly. That would fit right into this issue really strongly here. So you'd want to look at that. I'd need more about your case and your body here. But all these people haven't been able to help you, and that's a crying shame. You spent almost $80,000 here, and I hear this all the time. And there's only one road you have to walk down to get over this. There's only one road, and you're at it right now. And it's an important case to show the rest of you guys what you have to do to find remedy for this girl. If not, she's horrible, horrible life. She can't get up. It's horrible. When she stands up, her blood pressure drops to 84/60. I have some that, and it keeps dropping because we have some that stand up, they pass out. I mean, it's just unbelievable. And this is what happens. She goes into sudden bradycardia. Which is real low heart rate. So she was born with this petite mal epilepsy. She grew out of the epilepsy when she was 15 years old, although you didn't grow out of the causative factors, I'm sure. In 2006, she was hospitalized with orthostatic intolerance. I was just standing in my bathroom getting ready to go to an event when my husband and I could feel the blood draining to my feet. I thought I was having a stroke. He called 911, blah, 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 blah. Let me go back to, in 2008, I had a back surgery on L4 and L5. What does that tell you right now? She had back surgery on L4 and L5. Now, she went under anesthetics. She went under anesthesia. So remember to keep that in the back of your mind. She's already had a neurotoxic event right here. L4 and L5, of course, sweetheart, is your kidney vertebrae, so you already know you were born with very weak kidneys. Well, what sits on top of the kidneys? The adrenal glands. And what does the adrenal glands control? The autonomic nervous system, okay? So you've got an autonomic nervous system weakness already, and that's your systolic blood pressure. That's your top blood pressure. That's your neurotransmitters to get this, the nervous system pumping, the nervous system pumping. Now, so she had right there, it tells you a big clue there. What followed was several epidurals throughout 2009 due to obvious pain and sciatic during the right leg. In 2009, she was growing very anxious, so the adrenals were hyperstimulated then or getting really low in their functions then. She was getting ready to have anxieties big time. She had a lot of respiratory infections and sinus infections. Well, of course, she was born with weak kidneys. She wasn't moving her lymph system. Probably her diet had dairy in it. She was congested in her lungs and her sinuses here. etc., etc., etc. Now, this is I wanted to find out here where she was talking about right here. This is when her story began. Prior to January 18th, 2010, I was very healthy, not what you think you were. You might have felt healthy, sweetheart, but I'm telling you, your history here shows you weren't healthy, and this is part of the illusion. We feel good, we're active, we don't realize we have a problem, and then we have surgery on L4 and L5. That's kidney weakness. You've had it. You probably had it all your life, to be honest with you. Your adrenals are low to begin with. You just didn't realize that. Okay? She was vibrant, socially successful, and driven. She worked for Abbott Laboratories. I have an excellent track record, Abbott. January 8th. Get this one. January 8th, I was given a flu vaccine. All right? And felt so dizzy afterwards that I contacted my physician, who reassured me I was fine. Oh, yeah. I didn't feel fine. I had the flu, but after the vaccine, I felt even worse. I felt dizzy and oddly fatigued. All right, so what do we know about vaccines? Neurotoxic? Walk right up. We're going to shoot you full of neurotoxicity. You know, sue the pharmaceutical company over this one. You know, this had probably had thimerosal, the mercury in there. And we're going to get to her mercury problems here. But this is an exacerbator of symptoms. What is mercury? It's a neurotoxin. Is it bad for you? I don't know. The hospital quarantines an area where there's a mercury spill. It has to be red-bagged. You know, this is the kind of stupidity that even dentists are running with. Oh, we'll keep using it. I mean, this is what's wrong with the human race. And so I feel for you, honey. That was a neurotoxic shot. And right there, it started breaking down your adrenals even more. Plus, mercury is like aluminum. Where does it love to congregate? Upstairs. It's a central nervous system neurotoxin. And I can tell you, with the sinus infection and the respiratory infection, you were congested heavily up in the head area and up in the cerebellum. You're getting dizzy. This is the cerebellum right here. And this is where the blood pressures can go boom. You set that swinging blood pressure. When this gets inflamed or acidic and swollen, you go down. You know, your blood pressure can just drop like nobody's business. Vertigo, dizzy. And that just exacerbated your weakness and your problem already there. Okay? On the 18th, she was playing with my dog in the condo. My legs buckled on the bathroom stair, and I fell, hitting my chin on the bathroom floor. I was very disoriented and felt very sick to my stomach afterwards. The following day, I went to the ER because of this feeling remained. I was diagnosed with having post-concussional syndrome. I love those guys. On the 22nd, I was walking my dog outside, suddenly felt the blood rushing to my feet and began to stumble. Ooh. Go on, it just makes me sick. Sweetheart. You know what? She's been to the Mayo Clinic. She's been to all these places. You know what? I don't care if it's the Mayo, the Cleveland. It doesn't matter. They're all the same. I can tell you some stories about the Mayo Clinic. You just fall off your chair laughing. I'll tell you one of them. One lady flew in from London. She had tumors all around her leg. And I asked her, I said, do you drink milk? She said, well, of course I drink milk. I said, well, what have you been doing? She said, well, I've been coming over to the Mayo Clinic every year for 7, 8 years. Spent